All right, and Jared, I'll get to your question because I actually really am excited to talk LSU running game like we've talked about throughout the week. But Taylor's done a great job of putting the LSU defensive back group here inside the document, and it is a group that Taylor's talked about a couple times already in training camp. It's a group that when Flynn and I went out to practice over the weekend, we certainly noticed that they were making some plays. Mm-hmm. They look a little different back there than they had the last couple of years, and we all know we aren't telling you something that you don't know. It was a position group that has struggled for a couple years now as far as what we know LSU's defensive back room to be. The first year that the new staff got here, the year you make the SEC championship game, I actually thought they did a really nice job of identifying players in the portal and bringing in veteran players, and that group gelled together really fast, and they patched a lot of holes with that group. But the problem is once you patch holes like that consistently, over time the Flex Seal is going to pop. It's not going to hold it together, and that's what happened. And you literally last year, you held that thing together with duct tape and super glue. But now you go get some good players, all conference players from other Power 4 conferences. You go to Virginia Tech, you go to Houston, you go to Florida, you go to NC State, and you pair those players with players that you recruited out of high school. Your PJ Woodland starting, to take steps and starting to look like somebody that's going to be able to help you. He had a big interception the day that we went. Toviano, somebody that was highly touted. He's starting to continue to develop. DJ Pickett, he's a freshman, but my God, does he look the part. He's rolling in there with the ones. I mean, the other day when we were at practice, it was the ones, and I guess DJ might have had hey, you're going to get the first 3 reps and then, go out. After 3 plays, he was walking off the field, and Corey Raymond goes, hey, no, I need you in here for 2 more. I want to see something.
Yep.
I don't know what he wanted to see. It's I want to see something. So he said, come get 2 more. So, there's a plan for him to be on the field.
That guy looks like when you said, yeah, that guy's a freshman right there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He looks the part. Tall, lean, kind of reminds me of, not making plain comparisons, just from a stature standpoint, like a Richard Sherman, tall, long arms, long legs. He looks the part. And I was really, really excited and came away with a real positive attitude of the DBs the whole practice, because they didn't make every play. Like Nuss, they made some throws. It was kind of back and forth, but every throw that Nuss made was contested.
Mm-hmm.
They were there making plays on the ball, playing with high energy, and it just it looked really good. It looked like a healthy defensive back group, and it's something that we've been a little bit, maybe not nervous about, just wanting to see how all these new transfers kind of gelled with the offense, but seeing it firsthand from the sideline, so you get to really get respect for the game speed that they're playing with in practice, that practice speed. Every throw was contested. They were making play on the ball. It wasn't the ball was in the air, and they were attacking it, and it was refreshing to see. And I know we got a lot of safety rotation. They're rotating a lot of safeties in, and I said it when I gave you the breakdown of Cade Klubnik's game. We are going to have great safety play to contain him. He doesn't read safeties great. That's probably one of his weakest things is reading safety rotation, where they out on the depth of field.
Yeah.
He made a lot of throws last year that could have been intercepted or batted down by safeties, but he made the throw anyway, and it just worked out. A safety would slip and fall, and the guy would catch it and run 70, 80 yards. But also, so I think a safety can take advantage of a bad read or mistimed throw by Cade during the game and maybe come up with a big pick. But more importantly, why I say a safety is going to be hugely important in that first game is because of how he can move, and the called quarterback runs that they'll sprinkle in there, but just being able to move in the pocket. So if our safeties can contain, cover first, and then break downhill to contain him, it's going to be important, because if we do not get good safety play in that first game, Cade Klubnik's going to pop off.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to do it with his arm and with his legs, and the one thing LSU's defense certainly struggled against. Now, Jalen Milroe is kind of a cheat code, but quarterback runs were something that LSU – now, they did better against Jackson Dart. I think he popped one long run off, and Jackson Dart certainly had some big moments with his legs as well. But when you play the elite running quarterbacks, that's really where you got into trouble. And Kay Klubnik, I mean, he ran for over 500 yards a year ago, so he kind of falls into that category.
Yeah,
he is somebody that certainly can beat you with his legs as well.
I think he statistically had 450 or 60 yards, but if you don't count the sacks, he had almost 700.
Jimbo Fisher, you take that sack yards away, man, you got 800 yards rushing.
How stupid is that to make sacks?
Jimbo hated it.
So he had over 600. He had almost 700 yards rushing. If you take sack yardage away, which should not be part of it.
Tate, I'll throw this one to you. I know it's a group that you've been very excited about going out there because last year you came in here, you sat down, and you said, hey, this group's not good. This group is struggling in camp, and you've kind of changed your tune so far this year.
Yeah, I think you're a lot deeper. You would take a corner duo of P.J. Woodland and D.J. Pickett all day based on how they performed in camp. Those have kind of been the twos. I mean, they've all rotated in at corner, but I just think, I'm not one that normally speaks on hyperbole, but I think right now, this is the best secondary Brian Kelly's had since he's been here. Top to bottom, depth-wise, corner safety. I just think it is. And an interesting note, we're talking about the rotation of the corners of the safeties. They're moving in and out a lot. When the ones are out there, Ashton Stamps doesn't come off a whole lot.
Right.
Which is important. You need that one guy, that number one corner. Right now, it kind of seems like Stamps is that guy. When you were out last Wednesday, me and Flynn talked about it a little bit, and my thought was, this guy's a 3-year player in this program. You need a leader in that room. I wanted Stamps to be the guy to step up, and it kind of looks like he's doing that.
So between you got Delane from Virginia Tech, you got Cooley from NC State, Halsey from Houston. Those players are going to be impactful for you. But also, like I said, it's a nice blend of Ashton Stamps and DJ Pickett and Toviano and Woodland, guys and Spears is somebody we hadn't even talked about yet. And certainly he ended the year kind of flashing for you in the defensive backfield. So those players that kind of had to end last year stepping up, now they get a chance to, I don't want to say step back, but they get a chance to sit there and they're going to be counted on, but not to the level that we thought they were going to have to be. And I'm not sure that they were ready for that. So you go get some veteran players. You're going to have 3-4 guys out of the portal that rotate in that defensive backfield. And it is a unit that just on paper, before we get started, got to snap a ball. I get that, but it looks much better as far as the depth that you have.